Bounty hunters, discover an exclusive The Mandalorian and Grogu toy with a King Jr. meal. 8 toys in all while supplies last.
Burger King, this is your way.
For the Record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. Doctor's Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctor's Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. Kirk Market, experience a world of choice. JN Money, from abroad to Yad. And Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
We ask our listeners and viewers to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
Live from Radio Cayman Studio.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you.
For the Record.
Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
With Orrett Connor.
Informative, impartial, insightful. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Orrett Connor.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, O land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees so fair. Today is Friday, the 29th day of May 2026, right here in the beautiful Cayman Islands. We do hope and we trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable evening. Those of you who are on our roads, whether you're a pedestrian, a cyclist, or if you're operating any type of motorized vehicle, we urge you to please be extremely cautious. Ensure that you observe the rules of the road, because the life you save may just be your own. For those of you who are celebrating a birthday today, or if you've celebrated one over the past few days, we want to wish you a happy birthday or a happy belated birthday. And to remind you that the For the Record birthday shout-outs brought to you by Coca-Cola and the Credit Union. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands. You should accept no substitutes. From generation to generation, Coca-Cola, still a Cayman classic. And the Credit Union. Credit Union looks forward to serving the people of the Cayman Islands for the next 50 years and beyond. Those of you who have lost loved ones, we want to extend our sincere condolences to you. We hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these extremely challenging times, and that the memories of your loved ones will be a blessing. Those of you who are ill and are either at home or at a medical facility here in the Cayman Islands or overseas, we wish you a speedy recovery. And again this morning, big shout out to our colleague here at Radio Cayman, Mr. Joel Wilson. Huge shout out to him this morning as well. So folks, we're going to be talking about the 2026 hurricane season, readiness for the 2026 hurricane season, right? It is important for all of our listeners and our viewers, for all residents and visitors of the Cayman Islands, to understand that preparedness is not just about hurricanes. It is about being ready for all hazards, including extreme heat, flooding, tropical systems, power outages, and health impacts, all of which in some way or another we have experienced here in the Cayman Islands. So this year's focus is on building a culture of readiness across every household, every workplace, and every community in the Cayman Islands. Preparedness starts with small actions taken early. So we are extremely fortunate to have in the studio this morning the experts in the Cayman Islands on the whole theme and issue of preparedness. So it is my pleasure to introduce in the studio Ms. Tiffany Yong, who is the Community Engagement Officer for Hazard Management, Cayman Islands, Mr. Gilbert Miller, who is a meteorologist with the Cayman Islands National Weather Service, and Mr. O'Neill Minnott, who is from the Cayman Islands Red Cross. Folks, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Connor. Thank you.
Okay, so let's start by looking at the weather, because that is usually the one in focus. And of course, I believe Miss Susan gave us a weather update already this morning, but we're going to hear more from Mr. Miller in this regard, talking about the weather, the predictions, the potential heat wave, and as well as that famous Sahara dust. Mr. Miller, over to you, sir.
Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
I'm fine, and yourself?
And good morning to Cayman. Just giving a broad overview of the environment over the Caribbean for the next couple months. We know and we heard a lot of talk about the Super El Nino, and with that comes some impacts. Reduced rainfall, for example, heat waves, extreme temperatures in certain places. And we need to be prepared for all of those hazards, because hazards aren't just hurricanes, they're also the effects or the negative or the opposite of that. We also need to make sure that people know what to expect, and the experts, the Hurricane Center is predicting a below to average season. Based on the numbers, I think they're predicting 8 to 14 named storms. I think they're predicting 3 to 6 of those to become hurricanes and 1 to 3 major hurricanes. So the theme that we've been going with is, even though it's predicted to be a below or average season, it really only takes one. Mm-hmm. So being prepared is essential for everything. And also to know where your information is coming from, environmentally speaking, once some of these hazards are started, it's hard to stop. So heat waves, for example, extreme heats, people that are working in construction, being prepared for that in terms of taking regular breaks and getting to shade and staying cool. We need to make sure that everybody knows what to do in these events. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Flooding is also one. We know tropical environments, we are used to heavy downpours in short durations, which for the Cayman Islands can lead to flooding of certain areas. So we just need to make sure we be aware of what's going on around us. And even though the narrative is out there of a below to average season, it only takes one.
And talking about the heat wave, we have seen in several European countries, for instance, the UK, when you look at certain dates, exact date in a particular year, this year they have recorded, some of the highest temperatures as well. Does that tell us anything in terms of what we're likely to expect here in the Cayman Islands?
It gives us an indication, because not only the UK, but a lot of territories around the world have experienced record highs. Year after year, actually, they set record highs for each season. For us in the Cayman Islands, during the last El Nino year, we had 10 heat wave events that lasted, the longest lasting 23 consecutive days. So the possibilities out there, and that was we had a period in there that was considered a super El Nino. So the possibilities also there for that being repeated this year. And temperatures being above average with little to no rainfall, and even above average during the nights, which you expect to cool off, but it's above the overnight average for that season. So the possibility is there for extreme heat events. We just need to be aware of that also.
Okay. Now, we're almost at the end of May, and most people would say we probably haven't received as much rainfall as we should be receiving at this point in time. Mm-hmm. Has the Weather Service noticed any changes?
Yeah, we've recorded below average rainfall, yes. I mean, we have days where we have increased rainfall, but I remember the average is spread out over the month or a certain season. So even though we might have a period of 2 of extreme rainfall, on average, we are below Yes. Yes.
Now, in the days before all of this technology that we had, when it came to hurricane season and when a hurricane was approaching, I think we used flags to indicate what stages that we're at.
Yes, sir.
And of course, if you weren't near the flag or I didn't have the opportunity to go to the flag, you had no way of knowing. Can you explain to our listeners and our viewers the difference between alerts, watches, and warnings when it comes to hurricanes, sir?
Okay, so when it comes to hurricanes, the alert is, I think, is 36 hours away, and so you should be prepared. Where the warning is concerned, I think it's 24 hours away, and then the warning is when within 12 hours. Yeah,
6 to 12.
6 to 12 hours. Yeah, and that's when you can expect tropical storm force winds or hurricane force winds to be affecting you.
Okay, great. So we're going to talk with Miss Tiffany Yong now about hazard management, Cayman Islands, and you certainly play a central role when it comes to hazards. In the Cayman Islands, there may be times when you may take the lead role, and other times when you may be just there in a coordinating capacity, as opposed to having the lead role as well. First of all, tell our listeners and our viewers, those who may not be familiar with the role that hazard management Cayman Islands plays. Tell them about that.
Sure. So hazard management, we are the coordinating agency for multi-agency response. So we saw with the recent landfill fire that took multiple emergency responders. So we help to coordinate that response to make sure everyone's speaking the same language. Similarly to other hazards such as hurricanes, which we're more familiar with, we just make sure everyone is working together, speaking the same language, and not working in silos. We also are responsible for emergency management and educating the public on different hazards. So one of the things I do in my role is do hazard awareness presentations covering not just hurricanes, but earthquakes, tsunamis, fires, and how to prepare for those. So this season, although it's hurricane season, we're reminding persons there are other hazards we need to get prepared for and to start early. I always say failing to prepare is preparing to fail, right?
Yes.
Small actions can help greatly over time. I think a lot of times we get so busy with different activities we're doing in general life, we kind of forget seasons coming up, there's other hazards to be aware of. And this is in our households, as you mentioned, workplace and communities. So reviewing family emergency plans, that should be for kind of all hazards. Because if you remember back, 28th of January 2020, that 7.8 magnitude earthquake, gridlock traffic, we couldn't make phone calls. And having a family emergency plan, having a family meeting point is applicable to all hazards and can be so important. Knowing where the public shelters are, I say even if you're staying at home, knowing where the nearest shelter is can be so important in the case that you do have to evacuate during the storm. Rainy season is a great teacher as well, so seeing which routes flood less than others, so in the case that you do have to leave, you know which way to go. A lesson learned from past experience as well, insurance coverage. Taking those photos is something that we do as a part of our family plan in my family. Take photos of the vehicles, contents, home, maintenance, trimming back the trees. Right before part of the activities as well, bringing in that loose furniture, because we've seen the effects, bringing back Ivan, those strong winds can make anything a missile, really.
Yeah.
And then restocking the kits. I always joke, when the TV remote stops working, we take the batteries out the hurricane kit. So with the Atlantic hurricane season officially starting on Monday, hopefully our listeners will go ahead, start getting their canned goods, replacing those batteries they probably used, and addressing the long list of maintenance that they need to do. So,
okay, I'm going to interrupt you there because we need to take a commercial break. Folks, just to remind you that we're talking about preparedness in the Cayman Islands, not just for hurricanes, but for other events as well. That conversation is taking place with Miss Tiffany Yong from Hazard Management Cayman Islands. She's the Community Engagement Officer, Mr. Gilbert Miller who's a meteorologist with the Cayman Islands National Weather Service. And you haven't heard much of his voice yet, but you will soon hear his voice as well, Mr. O'Neill Minnott, who is from the Cayman Islands Red Cross. Don't change that dial. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite band-aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. Don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
Yeah, let me tell you, no AC when I was a boy. I still remember just how good an ice-cold Coca-Cola was.
The part is, the coolest moms and dads always had Coca-Cola or parties.
The sound when you pop the top, and the fizzle, and that, after that first sip.
Coca-Cola, from generation to generation. That ice-cold bubbly. Coca-Cola, still a Cayman classic.
She hear clunk and her car stop. I was just about to send her some money, so I send it straight to her JN money transfer card. It cost me less, and perhaps she use the card, pay the garage right away. She'll get discount through the JN Rewards program in Jamaica. This card make things easy. You can even get funds at any multi-link ATM.
JN Money Transfer Card. Fast, affordable, convenient. Tell your loved ones in Jamaica about it. Sign up is free.
Cineco's parametric insurance after hurricanes is now available for motor policies. Fixed automatic payouts cover incidental vehicle expenses like fuel, cleanup, and minor repairs. No claims, no damage required. $200 for comprehensive policies or $100 for third-party policies. Available exclusively through Cineco and included with all new motor insurance policies and upon renewal for current policies. Visit Cineco.ky today. Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Babe, not tonight. You keep poking me and I need to be rested for meetings tomorrow.
What? I was almost asleep. That's the mattress spring I keep telling you about, not me. We really need to get a new mattress.
Tossing and turning, back hurting, can't sleep? It might be time to turn in your old mattress and go to bed with a new one. Browse the huge mattress showroom at Brand Source Home Gallery and pick the perfect mattress today. With mattresses to suit every budget, Brand Source Home Gallery stocks a wide selection of sizes and styles like pillow top and gel memory foam. So stop tossing and turning and sleep better tonight with a new mattress from Brand Source Home Gallery, Dawson Drive, Industrial Park.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. Before I go back to our guests, I have a few birthday shout-outs here that I will share with you. So I've been asked to wish RJ a happy 25th birthday today, coming from his mom, Jerry, and grandmother, Elretha. So RJ, happy 25th birthday today. Those greetings coming from your mom and from your grandmother as well. We have another one here. Happy Friday. Could you please send belated birthday greetings to my sister, Laurice Frazier, whose birthday was yesterday, Thursday, the 28th of May. Belated birthday greetings coming from all of her family and wishing her many, many more as well. If you know someone who's celebrating a birthday or any other momentous occasion, please share that information with us right here on For the Record, and we will give them a birthday shout out. A little bit of housekeeping as well. When we return after the 8 o'clock news, because our panelists will continue with us here in the studio. If you have any questions or comments in relation to preparedness, please send them to our WhatsApp number, 925-3261, in the event that we're unable to have the phone lines open, because we still have a lot to discuss about the 2026 hurricane season readiness with Mr. Gilbert Miller, Ms. Tiffany Yong, and Mr. O'Neill Minnott. So before we went to the break, I had to interrupt Miss Tiffany, so I'm going to throw the mic right back over to her for her to continue as well. And you did speak about training as well, and if you could expand on it, whether, how far does your training extend? Is it only to government? Is it the private sector as well? And if any entity is interested in receiving, training about preparedness, how do they go about doing that as well?
Sure, Rosie, thank you. So we do presentations on hazard awareness. I mentioned it's not just hurricanes we have to worry about, so it's earthquakes, tsunamis, fires, and our presentation covers that. It's free of charge. Mm-hmm. It's open to government and private sector. I actually have one right after this. And it's an hour and a half. People can reach out through the main email, hmci@gov.ky. That stands for Hazard Management Cayman Islands. So hmci@gov.ky, and request a presentation free of charge. It's about an hour and a half. And I'm usually the one that comes out and delivers that, just to get everyone ready. Sometimes it's community-led, sometimes it's workplace-led. Mm-hmm. But just to jump back into reminders for our listeners as we enter the Atlantic hurricane season, is restocking those emergency kits. So water, non-perishable food, medication, we usually recommend 2 weeks worth, flashlights, batteries, hygiene kits, and pet supplies. Ensuring that generators are serviced and used safely outdoors. Clearing drains and gutters ahead of heavy rainfall. Trimming trees, and we mentioned earlier, securing loose furniture outside, and knowing how to safely shut off utilities, being a part of that emergency plan. Having backup charging options for our phones and other essential devices, and following official updates from official sources of information. So HMCI, Weather Service, Radio Cayman, and Cayman Government. And then just obviously making sure we're sticking to those official sources so we can avoid misinformation and disinformation.
Okay. And for those who are curious about shelters, the shelter responsibility falls under what entity?
So hazard management, we're part of it, but it's multiple agencies. So we lead the inspections, but you have fire service that also come, public works, planning, and those are usually done before the season. So they've been completed. We also partner with Department of Education Services, as you know, many of the shelters are schools. Mm-hmm. So it's a plethora of entities and kind of coordinated once again by hazard management.
Okay. So, Mr. O'Neill, we want you to tell us about your role in the Red Cross and the Red Cross's role in general. We know that whenever there is an emergency or an event that has taken place, not only in the Cayman Islands, but in our sister overseas territories as well, that the Red Cross, and your sister organizations, will be involved in that as well. First of all, we want to hear about your role and then about the Red Cross.
Okay, good. Thank you for having me, OC. And I'm the disaster manager with the Cayman Island Red Cross.
Okay.
And we work as an auxiliary with the government. As Tiffany was speaking to you earlier about shelters, the Red Cross operates a shelter which is the first shelter that is designated opened by the government in the case of an emergency in the Cayman Island, and we operate that shelter totally. Our role is humanitarian, and that leads down into the disaster operation, which I'm responsible for in the areas of preparedness, response, and recovery. strategic operation that governs any disaster management operation. And so we have a MOU with the government where we are responsible to provide support in the event of emergencies or disasters, or volunteers, which are a critical part of our operation. They become the engine of our operations. They fall into place and they become deployed whenever there is any need. And the Red Cross ultimately works closely with the Cayman Island government to manage any emergency or disaster event by providing humanitarian support and guidance in the strategic operation for preparedness, response, and recovery on that scale. We also form a part of the National Emergency Operations Center, where we sit on the Human Concerns Cluster. So.
And your headquarters, for those persons who may not be familiar with it, where you're located?
Right. So our headquarters is on Hulda Avenue, right across from the farmers market, and that is where the shelter is located as well. We also have training facilities there because, like Tiffany said, we also partner with the government to provide disaster management training. Even for the CERTs, the Red Cross becomes a critical part of that training operation. We also train government and public sector operation in first aid, CPR, and AED, as well as business continuity and disaster management training for private entities to guide them as to how to prepare, respond, and recover from emergencies, not only on a humanitarian basis, but on a business continuity basis.
And we know that the Red Cross, to a certain extent, relies on public contributions, or whether it be the corporate world or otherwise. Can you want to?
Yes. So we rely a lot on gifting and support from, and we do have support from the government. We do also have support from corporate Cayman and just the regular members of the society. So it's the brand Red Cross is synonymous with humanitarian needs, and as such, we benefit from persons giving in to the entity and to the movement so that we can give back and provide the necessary support that is needed.
Okay, folks, we've reached the top of the hour where we're going to go to our 8 o'clock news. The voices that you've been hearing so far this morning, the last voice was that of Mr. O'Neill Minnott, who is the disaster manager at the Cayman Islands Red Cross. You also heard the voice earlier of Mr. Gilbert Miller, who's a meteorologist with the Cayman Islands National Weather Service, and of course, Miss Tiffany Yong, who's the Community Engagement Officer for Hazard Management, Cayman Islands. After the 8 o'clock news, folks, we're going to dive much deeper. We're going to dive much deeper into the conversation in relation to preparedness as well. We're just a few days away from the start of the hurricane season here in the Cayman Islands. But hurricanes are not the only hazards that we could encounter here in the Cayman Islands. And it is important for you to be prepared. And these persons here in the studio with me are the experts, and they are here to tell you how to be prepared. So don't change that dial. For the record, we'll be back immediately after the 8 o'clock news.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller. A Grand Court judge issues a restraint order against Carrie Rosita Whitaker, prohibiting her from publishing or sharing statements about Cayman Marl Road owner Sandra Hill, while civil proceedings between the pair continue. Here's Radio Cayman's Jevi Ebanks.
Justice the Honorable Jalil Asif, KC, made the order following an in-person hearing on Wednesday. The court heard the matter in the presence of the defendant, Ms. Hill, representing herself, presenting affidavits, exhibits, and legal submissions in support of her application. Justice Asif granted an interim order restraining Whitaker from publishing, broadcasting, or communicating the statements identified in Hill's statement of claim, including on YouTube, Facebook, and any other social media platform. The order warns that any breach may result in imprisonment, fines, or seizure of assets. It also states that anyone assisting a breach may likewise find themselves in contempt. The court has directed that Whitaker be personally served with the originating summons, the statement of claim, the affidavits, and the order itself. A further hearing is scheduled for June the 9th at 10 a.m., when the courts will decide whether to continue or set aside the order, or whether to require Whitaker to remove existing posts. Jeffy Ebanks, Radio Cayman News.
The fire service reports more than $1.3 million in spending for new equipment and vehicles. According to a disclosure log posted on government's Bonfire Hub procurement website, the CIFS purchased a Stryker 6x6 airport rescue and firefighting vehicle with R65 high-reach extendable turret for $1.3 million this month. Earlier this year, the service reported procuring $20,000 in parts for breathing apparatus equipment and $50,000 in personal protective equipment. This year's Nurses Week highlights the critical role nurses play in strengthening local healthcare systems. Chief Nursing Officer Felicia McLean tells Radio Cayman the Ministry of Health, quote, continues to advance key initiatives aimed at supporting and strengthening the nursing profession.
As a nurse, I know that there is no better way to honor the dedication, compassion, and services of my fellow nurses than to ensure that they not only feel but receive tangible support in their profession.
The first initiative was supporting the Nursing and Midwifery Council to assume oversight of the University College of the Cayman Islands' Ruth Eleanor McLaughlin School of Nursing. Additional priorities include establishing clear professional growth pathways, promoting safe and supportive work environments, and advancing legislative and policy reforms.
There are 11 students who are set to graduate from the UCCI School of Nursing next month. Nursing is a profession that offers not only meaningful local impact, but also global opportunity. And it is our responsibility to ensure that we make this an attractive and accessible career choice for all.
Additionally, work is underway to update the scope of practice legislation and the Code of Ethics. Health Minister, the Honorable Catherine Ebanks-Wilkes.
Forthcoming changes in regulations for key legislation, such as the Pharmacy Act, will serve to broaden the scope of practice for nurse practitioners within our islands. This will allow our nurse practitioners to grow and develop within the profession, while also enhancing our nation's primary healthcare services.
This year's Eloise Reed Leadership Award, which is given to the nurse who, quote, exemplifies the very best of the industry, was awarded to Kimberly Wedderburn. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which takes us out of the newscast. I'm Kersley Fuller.
BBC News with Govinda Gill. The head of NATO says the alliance stands ready to defend every inch of its territory after a Russian drone hit a residential building in member state Romania. 2 people were injured. Bucharest is declaring a Russian consul general persona non grata. Moscow says President Putin is aware of the incident. Kenyan police have arrested 8 students on suspicion of arson over a fire at a girls' boarding school on Thursday. 16 children were killed and dozens were injured in the blaze. The former head of the Chinese temple known as the birthplace of Kung Fu has been sentenced to 24 years in jail after being convicted of corruption. Sha Yongxin was reported to have a fleet of luxury cars and fathered children with several women. The World Health Organization is appealing for more funding to help contain the Ebola outbreak. Speaking in the Congolese capital, Kinshasa, the head of the WHO said only a third of the needed support has been secured. BBC News.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman with the latest up-to-date, accurate news and information. For your convenience, the headline news will be repeated on our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or download the Radio Cayman app in the App Store or log on to www.radiocayman.gov.ky and stay connected to what's happening in the community. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way. Positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
Sports. Stay up to date on your sports news with Radio Cayman Monday through Friday at 7 a.m., 6 p.m., and 10 p.m. It's all about sports.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by
CG Britcade, where people come first.
Good morning. Let's take a look at the latest weather report. Current temperature is 83 degrees. Relative humidity is 82%. The barometric pressure is 29.94 inches and falling. The wind is out of the east-northeast at 3 knots. Overnight low was 80 degrees. Synopsis indicate isolated showers and moderate winds and seas are expected for the next 24 hours as the pressure gradient weakens across the Caribbean. Isolated thunder remains a possibility, and satellite imagery show clouds to the west and north of the Cayman Islands. Now, the forecast for today calling for partly cloudy skies with cloudy spells and a 30% chance of showers and thunder. And temperatures will rise to the upper 80s with a heat index near 103 degrees Fahrenheit. Your winds will be east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots. Seas will be moderate with wave heights of 3 to 5 feet. Forecast for tonight calling for partly cloudy skies with a 30% chance of showers and thunder, and temperatures dipping to the mid to upper 70s tonight. Your winds will be east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots, and seas will be moderate with wave heights of 3 to 5 feet. Low tide will be this afternoon at 2:34, high tide again tonight at 9:37. The sun will set this evening at 6:57 and will rise tomorrow morning at 5:48. And the outlook is calling for a continued chance of isolated showers and possible thunder for the next few days, and seas are expected to decrease further by Saturday. And that's the very latest on your weather report.
If you have an objection to this marriage, speak now or forever hold your...
Don't do it, Tevin! I still love you. I have since the day we stole your mom's car and got matching dolphin tattoos.
Oh, Lordy. Janelle? From spring break 08?
Yes, it's me.
Janelle, you've got to move on.
We're like the wedding guest that doesn't ruin the ceremony. CG Britcade. Good like that.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by
CG Britcade, where people come first.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite Band-Aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. Don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
For the Health of It, heard on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. and repeated on Saturdays at 9:30 a.m. Brought to you by UHealth International, University of Miami Health System. International patients go to UHealth International for consultations with renowned physicians, advanced treatment technologies, leading-edge medical therapies, and state-of-the-art surgical procedures. Whatever your particular reason for going to UHealth International, you will receive customized medical care delivered within a compassionate, multicultural setting. The care you need when you need it.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Good morning. Let's take a look at what's happening on our road, see what's slowing, what's flowing. On Shamrock Road, further up on Shamrock Road, flowing at a moderate pace. Further down, a little different story as traffic is steadier as you approach the Linford Pearson Highway. Slight delays expected. And Cool Road moving at a slow pace, but you'll get there to Georgetown. Coming off of the Linford Pearson Highway on Agnes Way, little steady traffic, as well as on Bobby Thompson Way and continuing on to Huldah Avenue. Edward Street, no issues there as traffic is light to moderate, as well as coming from the West Bay four-way stop. Moderate flow of traffic in both directions on the West Bay Road in front of the Ritz, and traffic is steady but flowing on North Sound Road. Industrial Park area moving at a moderate pace. And if you've seen accidents, let us know by calling us at 949-6990. Remember, click it or ticket. Join us again at about 10 minutes after 12 for another look at traffic.
Start your year off right with Subway's Fresh Fit menu. 4 protein-packed subs with 20 grams or more protein, under 500 calories, and loaded with full servings of crisp veggies on hearty multi-grain bread. Try the grilled chicken and avocado, the ham and turkey stacker, the seasoned steak and avocado, or the turkey and ranch delight. Big flavor, plenty of protein, and fresh veggies in every bite. Fuel your day the Fresh Fit way. Only at Subway. Subway. Eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Attention Northside and East End residents. The Department of Environmental Health Northside and East End bulk waste collection will take place between May 25th to May 30th. This bulk waste collection will replace the traditional year-end collection. Household appliances, furniture, and other items too large to be handled by the weekly DEH collection crews should be placed by the roadside where it is easily accessible to DEH collection crews. Metals and vegetation should also be separated from other bulk items. Do not obstruct the roadway or storm drains or place tires, construction, and demolition waste, hazardous materials, or electronics. For more information on the North Side and East End bulk waste collection from May 25th to May 30th, please contact DEH's Solid Waste Management section at 949-6696.
With Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. For those of you who are just joining us, we are talking about 2026 preparedness, hurricane preparedness, but also being prepared for other hazards as well. That conversation is taking place with the Community Engagement Officer for Hazard Management, Cayman Islands, Miss Tiffany Yong. Also in the studio with us, Mr. Gilbert Miller, who's a meteorologist with the Cayman Islands National Weather Service, and Mr. O'Neill Minnott, who is from the Cayman Islands Red Cross. Folks, if you have any questions or comments related specifically to preparedness, you can call us. We have a toll-free number. If you're calling from a flow number, that toll-free number is 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037, 949-6990. We have a WhatsApp number. You can call or you can send a WhatsApp message. That number is 925-3261. But for this segment, it has to be related to the topic that we're talking about now, preparedness in 2026 preparedness. So if you could limit yourselves to that, please feel free to call if you have any questions or comments in that regard. Meanwhile, we're going to continue our conversation with our experts in the studio. So we're going to talk about heat and health readiness. Okay.
Yes, sir. From the National Weather Service point, we're expecting an increase in, or
excessive heat this summer. So we want people to be aware of the different levels. We launched our new website the other day, and we're on the website under information. You can find all the alerts and the different color codings, because we also launched a new color coding scheme across the island.
Okay.
So what does each one mean? And in relation to all the different hazards. But in relation to heat, knowing the warning signs of excessive heat or being affected by excessive heat is very important. But there's also some very, very common sense things that you can do. Be aware of how you're feeling. If you feel dizzy, take a break. If you're working outside, don't do it during long periods. Take some short breaks. Make sure you hydrate. And different things can be, different common sense things can go a long way.
And what should you hydrate with? Because there are, some beer drinkers out there that feel, I'm working out in the heat. Let me chug a beer down.
No, water is good, but also replacing electrolytes is good. Yes. So you need to make sure you're hydrating properly. Let me say that. And also a part of that, you need to also look out for other people's signs also. If you're working with teams, if you're working on a roof, if you're working on a construction site, yes, you need to get the work done, but also you need to be safe. And being aware of the signs of heat, being affected by excessive heat is important. Make sure you pack these things when you're going to work. A lot of people pack lunches and different things and don't take the proper amount of water or the proper amount of the type of electrolytes they need to. So be prepared for that. And look out for the people that you're working with when it comes to being outside and prolonged periods of work outside. Yeah.
And with the summer coming up, we're going to have lots of summer camps as well. Some will take place indoors, some will possibly take place outdoors as well. What sort of advice would you give to those persons who are managing these summer camps?
Okay, good. So it is the basic common sense, as we have just discussed, and especially our vulnerables, elderly persons and children. We have to look out for them. And it's critical that we understand and know the signs, early warning signs, because health-related illnesses are preventable if we take early precautions, and that is the key. So for our children, we have to, the kids will be out there playing. We have to take control and limit their exposure to the sun. We have to be responsible for that. You understand? Because they are very, very vulnerable in the society. So during summer camps, there's a lot of outdoor playing. We have to ensure we keep the kids hydrated, properly hydrated. We limit their exposure, prolong the exposure out there in the sun, direct sunlight. So we have to look at a lot of times keeping a lot of the interactions and activities indoor as opposed to outdoors. And as it relates to our elderly, very important. The Red Cross, Cayman Island Red Cross, we have a Support Our Seniors program. A lot of our elderly are not afforded the level of support and attention that they should be getting to ensure their well-being. And as a result, one of our programs, as I said, the Support the Seniors, is we have a program where we check in on the elderly, those who are vulnerable. We transport them to and from their medical appointments daily. Great. We transport them to and from their shopping experiences and chores. We check in with them. We inspect their properties to, ensure that we are mitigating any potential risk, especially now coming up to the hurricane season. And so while we can't reach all these persons who are vulnerable, we encourage now our community to support them. So elderly relatives, check on your elderly relatives. Neighbors, we have to be our neighbor's keeper. You understand? So persons with medical conditions, understand what it is, both relatives and neighbors, understand what they are suffering from and how you can support them. Collectively as a community, if we seek to be responsible for each other, understand the early warning signs and knowing the pre-existing conditions of our most vulnerable, we can mitigate a lot of the challenges that are expected to come with extreme heat conditions that for this summer period.
Now, we also know that the government has tried to made efforts and taken initiatives to mitigate against the high cost of electricity, especially during the summertime, as well. So those persons who have air conditioning, they are getting some sort of financial relief in that area. There are those who may not have air conditioning at all. And we see in some jurisdictions, especially in the big cities, where they have these cooling centers where people, where it's air conditioned and everything, and people can be taken there simply to be cooled off during that hottest part of the day. Do we have anything like that here in the Cayman Islands, or would something like that be useful in the Cayman Islands? Cooling centers.
I'm not aware of any that we do have, but that is actually a great idea, so I can definitely discuss it with the team. But like O'Neill was mentioning, being our neighbor's keeper, so something that we have is community responsibility. Beyond individual responsibility, we have our CERTs. CERTs are community emergency response teams. They're a volunteer program under Hazard Management and Red Cross. So in terms of what you're saying, a cooling center, having the CERTs, having that neighbor responsibility, bringing them in if they have elderly that maybe they know don't have ACs, allowing them access, or having a community center. Many of the CERTs have access to rendezvous points such as civic centers or churches, and that's something maybe they can roll out as a cooling center during our hot season.
And as you speak, yes, correct, Tiffany. And as you spoke about that, OC, one of the critical things we need to remember is do not leave children, pets, or elderly in parked cars without the AC and engine running. It's advisable that you don't leave them any at all, but even more complicated and dangerous if you leave them in a car. And we might say this is common sense, but it has happened all over the world and has resulted in death. And these are our most vulnerable, so we need to remember, do not leave children, pet, or elderly in parked cars, for extended periods.
Certainly.
Just don't do it.
Yeah, so that's part of what our CERTs do, our volunteers, the Community Emergency Response Team volunteers. They conduct vulnerability and capacity assessments. So during those assessments, they would identify those vulnerable, maybe persons with disability, persons that need a bit more attention, and can support them in, all hazards, earthquakes, hurricanes, and the expected heat waves that we're anticipating, and encouraging them to prepare. We find this phenomenon when persons have been through Ivan or Gilbert, they feel that they can weather whatever is coming. So it's about providing them that support to say, your home was built prior to 2004, 2009. It's not rated to the standards now. You need to go to a shelter, and just something to that extent, providing that support. And encouraging listeners to have conversations about emergency plans and support needs, as we were discussing earlier. So something that we did last year is we ran a presentation program with the Alzheimer's and Dementia Association. So we're used to our hurricane kits, but we forget things such as comfort items for persons with Alzheimer's or dementia, communication boards for nonverbal, or just, comfort items, headphones for persons with maybe ADHD, because we know the sounds that can come from hurricanes or just the stress that comes from other hazards, and just providing that family plan individually and that community support.
Okay. I don't want to put you on the spot with things, but we see more highlighting being done now and attention being placed on autistic persons, for instance. And if our infrastructure hasn't been designed in such a way to accommodate them. That is something that we will need to look at, as well, because there may be an autistic person in a household that may need to relocate to a shelter at some point in time as well.
So
are we prepared to address that yet?
Yes, we are.
Great to know.
The Red Cross training that we provide both to our volunteers and the CERTs, who are officially the shelter managers across the island, does include an aspect of psychological response. And as a result, we are trained in the area of inclusivity. So we respond and are trained to properly engage persons with all diversified needs. This includes persons with the ASD spectrum, persons who are ADHD, all different types of neurological attention orders. We are trained, and our shelter managers are trained both at the CERT level and at the Red Cross volunteer level to be able to offer that Tier 1 psychological intervention and comfort support for persons who might be in the shelters, who are experiencing or are exposed to these type of neurological needs. So yes, it is something that have come to our attention, and we have put things in place to address that. And just recently, we have had over 53 persons on the Red Cross volunteers trained, and I think for the shelter managers, for the CERTs, it's somewhere in the region of about 70 persons that were trained, and that would have included the psychological aspect of understanding and managing those neurological disorders.
Excellent. With that, we're going to take a commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Did you know that you can send money transfers to financial institutions anywhere in Jamaica with JN Money?
You mean I can send money straight to my account and cut out the middleman?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. You send your own money to your own account, giving you peace of mind that the money is in your account.
JN Money Transfers to Financial Institution is another convenient service offered by JN Money. You can have this done from any JN Money location. Deposit your money straight to your account without the hassle of asking someone to do it for you. JN Money Transfers to Financial Institutions, making life easier.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget. Our custom closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
Come to the 19th Annual Tool Fest between May 29th and June 6th at A.L. Thompson's to pay the lowest prices of the year for tools and select building materials. Go to althompson.com to see the 8-page Tool Fest circular loaded with the best select brand deals on Makita, Milwaukee, Bosch, Flex, Steel, and more. On May 29th and 30th, learn what's new in the industry and enjoy demos, gifts, and prizes from more than 50 brand reps. Join us and let us welcome you to Tool Fest at A.L. Thompson's.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. For those of you who are just joining us, we are talking about 2026 preparedness in the Cayman Islands. Of course, we're coming up to hurricane season in a few days, start of hurricane season in the Cayman Islands. It is my pleasure to have in the studio with me this morning Mr. O'Neill Minnott from the Cayman Islands Red Cross, Mr. Gilbert Miller from the Cayman Islands National Weather Service, and Miss Tiffany Yong from Hazard Management Cayman Islands. Folks, we have two observations from our listeners. This is actually a question. The person says, could your guests speak about the program due to the fact that this is the first time that I'm hearing about the program? And I think it had to do with the elderly. And then we had another comment that said, good morning, OC, suggesting cooling centers is an excellent idea. So, and of course, Ms. Tiffany has promised to take that up and look into that as well. So, Mr. O'Neill, I think you were talking about the program for the elderly.
So the program is a program, Support Our Seniors, that the Red Cross has undertaken. And it initiated in the era of COVID, when we realized that there are a lot of seniors who were there and were not able to access the resources and the support that was needed to properly cater for their welfare. And as a result, it started out where we would have just, engaged some of the seniors to take them to and from medical visits, ensure they have a safe journey to and from. Now, we don't only take them there, our volunteers stay with them throughout the process and also take them back. We facilitate trips to the supermarkets, to shopping for them. We check on them periodically because loneliness, especially in the elderly age, becomes a significant aspect for them. They just need someone to speak to, someone to spend time with. And as a result, our Support Our Seniors program deals with that holistic aspect of looking into the care and welfare of some of the most vulnerable in our society, which includes the elderly. And so that program is available, and today at the point, it has grown to the point where we have had to now hire a program coordinator to help manage that program because it has grown because of the need and the demand that exists currently in the Cayman Islands.
So Mr. O'Neill, with such a demand and you must need people to help you along as well. So if someone was interested in volunteering their time, their services, they may have a vehicle or something, how can they go about doing that?
Okay, so they can make contact with our corporate center and Miss Samantha White, who is our volunteers and resources manager, will gladly engage them. All they have to do is make a call into the center or drop by. We have persons who come in physically to sign up and to call. And so it shows the heart of the people of our Cayman Islands, and we are always willing to welcome and accept more, because the more persons who volunteer, the more we can reach, the more persons we can reach and support.
Okay, I believe we do have a caller on our WhatsApp. Everyone has their headphones on, no problem. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. O'Connor.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Okay, and you? And
I'm fine, thank you.
Good morning. Good morning to you, guests.
Morning.
Good morning.
It might sound pretty simple what I'm going to comment saying, but I don't know if you all realize it. But when it comes to asphalt, putting roads down with asphalt, I remember a friend of mine, I used to sit down on their front porch, and it was always cool. And as soon as the government put an asphalt road in front of that house, the heat was horrible. So I don't know if the government realizes this, but when it comes to putting asphalt in residential areas and in certain neighborhoods, that needs to stop. Asphalt should only be allowed to be put on public roads, the main public roads, because if Grand Cayman continues putting asphalt everywhere on that island, the heat is going to be unbearable, especially in certain areas where old people like to sit down on their front porch. And then when you look, then they got a brand new asphalt road right in front of the house, and the heat can be unbearable for those old people.
Mm-hmm. And the parking lots as well, right? Parking lots you would suggest not be designed from asphalt or constructed from asphalt?
Yes, I would say the parking lots too, like what Kenneth Bryan and them did with in Georgetown with the brick roads.
Mm-hmm.
That's what needs to be done. It might take a longer time to be done. It might cost more, but if Grand Cayman continues putting asphalt everywhere on that island, the heat is going to become unbearable.
Mm-hmm.
Especially I hear you all talking about people sitting in cars and being parked in cars. If you're sitting in a car and parking a car over a brand new asphalt parking lot, it's not going to be nice. Thank you.
Thank you very much, caller. We're going to get some input here from our weatherman in relation to that. Mr. Miller.
Yes, sir. I mean, it's a very good point. But we also have to balance infrastructure and the community needs, and I understand his points completely. As a nature lover, I would prefer if as much nature as possible remains untouched. But the reality is we have to balance infrastructure and improvement with everything else. So, and he is true. I mean, there's different ways that we can mitigate it. Doing grasscrete, which allows for grass to grow and water to infiltrate the soil, is a great product. Maybe reducing the amount of asphalt or areas that has to be paved is also another suggestion. But I take his point. It's a very important point and a very topic to discuss. But I'm not sure the way to go about changing what a lot of people would see as a need to improve infrastructure.
Yeah, and maybe going forward, we'll need to do less asphalt, but it may be difficult to dig out what we have now.
Yeah, we need to mitigate it in other ways and do it sustainably and responsibly.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a great point.
Okay. So we're going to go back and talk some more about health preparedness during hurricane. Ms. Tiffany?
Yes, so just reminding people, a part of our NEOC, we prioritize mental health. So we have the mental health emergency support team. There is Cayman mental health line that's available Monday to Friday, 6 to 11 p.m. We know that during the hurricane season, people do get anxious. So just highlighting that is a resource out there that is available.
Mm-hmm.
Also, having a plan is just so important. I know it can be busy among our day-to-day, but it reduces that anxiety that we might have. I always say it's better to practice in times of calm than to try to figure it out in the chaos. Also, reminding persons with medical conditions to refill prescriptions early. We usually recommend having at least 2 weeks worth of medication, and if possible, getting an extra prescription in the case of evacuation. In the emergency family plan that we have on our website at Hazard Management is caymanprepared.ky. We have a fillable document that you can make an emergency plan. It covers health conditions, medication schedule, emergency contact, doctors, and that can be helpful, especially in a caretaker situation. So there's no burnout. You can pass it on. Everyone is aware of what's going on and on the same page. And then just making sure that you have that contact information readily available. Having phone lists, not depending on having it in just our phones, but paper form as a redundancy. And having an overseas contact. After Ivan, that was something that was so important to my family that we were able to contact our overseas family. And then just reminding persons, seeing what your needs are. So if you have babies, if you need special water, whatever else it may be. One thing that often gets left out our kit, and I was a child when Ivan hit, I was about 12, and toys, non-battery powered toys. So when I do presentations at school, the homework I give the children, find at least 3 books and at least 3 devices or entertainment that does not need power. Because for me personally, I've been 3 months without electricity. Imagine entertaining your child in this day and age. So even something like that, adding it to your kit. And then for persons with medical conditions, if they have devices that require battery, having a backup power source and likely to have multiple.
What about the importance of knowing which shelter you're going to go to in the event that you have to go to a shelter? And then at the same time, can we say what shelters? There are some shelters that don't accommodate pets, some that do. Can we talk a little bit about the conveniences or the of each shelter and what they are designed to accommodate?
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. So we have shelters across all 3 islands, including Little and the Brac. We have some that are called EMCs, Emergency Medical Centers. Okay. So those have a doctor and a nurse on staff. So if you have persons with medical conditions, so maybe they're pregnant or they have medication requirements, they can go to those. The other shelters have first aiders provided by Red Cross. And you have 2 pet-friendly shelters, and I'm just emphasizing pet-friendly versus pet shelters because we have had confusion in the past where people think that they can just drop off the pet. When we're talking about pets, we mean just dogs and cats. Okay. So if persons have rabbits or snakes, they have to make alternate arrangements. So the 2 pet-friendly shelters are John Gray High School Gym and Clifton Hunter High School Gym. And there's an EMC in each district, so making that plan, seeing if they need medical attention, they can go to an EMC versus a regular shelter. In terms of shelter opening, it's always dynamic based on the situation. For the recent landfill fire, we did open a shelter, and as O'Neill mentioned, the first shelter to always open is Red Cross.
Okay, we're going to take our last commercial break. When we return, we know, unfortunately, the number of persons on dialysis continues, to increase. And we want to give some advice in relation to those persons who are under dialysis or taking dialysis treatment, the advice that we want to give to them as well. Folks, don't change that dial. We're talking about 2026 preparedness for disaster preparedness. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Cineco's parametric insurance after hurricanes is now available for motor policies. Fixed automatic payouts cover incidental vehicle expenses like fuel, cleanup, and minor repairs. No claims, no damage required. $200 for comprehensive policies or $100 for third-party policies. Available exclusively through Cineco and included with all new motor insurance policies and upon renewal for current policies. Visit Cineco.ky today. Cineco. Keeping Cayman covered.
Your dream home starts with a vision, and often inspiration is at the heart of that vision. Brand Source Home Gallery's in-house designers are here to help bring your vision to life. Whether you're remodeling or building a new home, Brand Source Home Gallery is your one-stop solution. Explore their kitchen cabinets, sinks, faucets, bath fixtures, tubs, vanities, and more. Let Brand Source's designers help and inspire you with your next project. Call 623-5000 and schedule an appointment with a design expert at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, serving Cayman for 50 years.
CUC advisory. Customers are advised of a scheduled outage on Sunday, May 31st between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. for all of Canal Point Drive off West Bay Road and the Esterly Tibbetts Highway. For more information, please contact CUC's customer service team at 949-5200, email service@cuc.ky, or visit their website at www.cuc-cayman.com.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're on the last leg of the show this morning, talking about preparedness with representatives from the Cayman Islands Red Cross, Cayman Islands National Weather Service, and Hazard Management Cayman Islands. Before we get on to the next topic, Mr. O'Neill, in relation to the persons that you use who would volunteer to assist the elderly, can you talk about what the procedure is, the training that, so you don't just randomly choose people in relation to that?
So thank you. There is a detailed and meticulous training program in place for Red Cross volunteers, which includes, so the persons who are a part of the support or seniors program who interact with these seniors, they are trained and certified in first aid, CPR, and AED.
Okay.
And as a result, the vehicles themselves as well are equipped to facilitate certain types of disabilities, etc. So we ensure that we are meeting the standard that is required, and we operate within the protocol of being able and equipped and trained to respond to emergencies if it should happen while transporting those seniors, So there are some persons are asking, can we, on behalf of the Red Cross, volunteer to just carry these persons? No. The answer would be no. You would need to contact the Red Cross, get accredited, meaning get certified, go through the training process, and then because there are assigned vehicles in the Red Cross.
Because they have to be covered by insurance for transportation
Exactly. So
as well.
all of these, we have to ensure that we are operating under the law. So there are specific vehicles within the Red Cross fleet that are assigned to this program. So I appreciate, I think one of your caller texted in, say if they can just transport seniors and help. We would not recommend that. We would recommend you take the process through the proper due diligence, where you contact the Red Cross, express your interest in wanting to volunteer in that regard, and we will provide the necessary training and certification for you to ensure that you are operating not just from a good heart, but you are now equipped with the resources and the skill set that is needed to ensure that our seniors are properly taken care of.
Well prepared. Okay, folks, we have about 11 minutes left to go, so there are things that you still want to cover as well, so I'm going to throw the mic over to you guys.
All right, I'm going to steal the mic just to highlight something new that we're recently introduced with collaboration with Weather Service. We have the National Color-Coded Alerts. So that's what you're used to, the alert, watch, warning, and we're used to the all clear. But in between that warning and all clear, we now have a great image of what we call the assessment phase. We're trying to sensitize the public to that. Basically, it's to say after impact, you're likely to see movement outside, such as the regiment and the certs. That's for critical tasks, specifically initial damage assessment. So before we can issue an all clear, meaning persons can move, the public can move, you may see the weather's clear. Persons such as the regiment and our CERT volunteers need to go outside and get a picture of the damage. That way, government officials, leadership can make the decision on if to issue the all clear. So that's something we're trying to sensitize the public to, is that assessment phase where they may see that movement. It doesn't mean it's all clear for them to move. The other thing is, every year we have Preparedness Month, and we collaborate with our different stakeholders. So we have 2 volunteer programs under Hazard Management and Red Cross. We have the CERT volunteers I mentioned before and the shelter management volunteers. Both are so critical. We are so grateful for them. They have in-depth knowledge of their communities and make such a great difference. So this year we have Preparedness Month, May through June. And coming up we have We've had them from ending of April, actually. And coming up this weekend, we're going to be at Foster's Camana Bay, educating the people, reminding them the season's coming up, advising them how to prepare for different hazards. The next one after Foster's Camana Bay this weekend will be Thursday, June 4th at Kirk Home Center. And following that, we'll wrap up on Saturday, June 6th at Hurley's. So we have weather service representatives with us, shelter management volunteers, CERT volunteers, and just educating the public.
I'm going to interrupt you for a second because we do have another caller. What's up, caller? Good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, all. Great to hear the preparation plans on the way again for the annual hurricane season.
Good morning.
I'd just like to remind the listeners and viewers of something that could easily help us, which is to secure our documents. I'm talking everything from passports and driver's licenses to documents for your house insurance, property like insurance, health insurance. And what I mean by that is to take photos of them, with your cell phone especially, and WhatsApp the photo or email the photo to a relative, not just keep it on your phone. Your daughter, your sister, your husband, wife, whatever. But having those documents, as you know, eases a lot of headaches if you have to contact people or resolve problems after a hurricane. And it prevents you from losing or damaging your originals as well. So just a tip for your listeners.
Thanks for that.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Right. Okay. Yes. So the Red Cross, we are prepared. We have done our checks. And some of the things that are critical is for persons to know some of the things that they need to take to a shelter in the event that they need to go to a shelter is take 3 to 5 days supply of water and food, which does not require cooking. Special items such as medication, baby food, diapers, female sanitary products. These are all things that persons tend to forget during the rush and the emergency. And if you have small children, don't forget to bring at least one of their favorite foods. It's a comfort item, and toys. Blanket, pillows, working flashlights with batteries, make sure those are checked. Change of clothing, because most times you won't be able to wash at a shelter, so you want to have some fresh clothing to change. So these are just some of the things for you to consider. Also, in preparation for the upcoming hurricane season, the Cayman Island Red Cross has 11 40-feet containers strategically placed across the islands to include our sister islands. And these are equipped with supplies, relief supplies, that are ready for distribution in the case of our recovery effort.
Okay.
So.
Do we have time for to grab one more caller? Because we still want to give you an opportunity for some closing comments, and I want to hear about the new National Weather Service building, their headquarters as well. Let's grab the caller. We're going to ask the caller to please be as brief as possible. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Austin.
Morning.
To your panel.
Morning.
Why do I have to be brief? You never miss me or what? I keep hearing in the hazard management and various people on talking about securing documents and securing pets and the likes. Do we know how much supply that we would have on the island to sustain the people that are here in case there was a major hurricane, or are we putting anything in place to, if we know, because we know before the storm come how severe it's going to be and if it's going to impact us direct. So is there anything in place to evacuate most of the people that are island that are not Caymanians, that are living in little makeshift apartments and the like? Because as you know, they will be the first ones to be in problems with places to live. You know, you gotta have a roof over your head. You gotta have food. You gotta have water and all those things. So we have more people on this island than we ever had before. So I would think that we need to start thinking about evacuating people that we know that is not indigenous or
So your two questions are, because we're running out of time, evacuation procedures as well as the supplies that we have on island in the event that there's any prolonged period where we're unable to get supplies. Lord Graham, thank you very much for that. Phone lines are going to be open again after we do the headline news. We're going to have an open mic after that. Welcome you to call back. We're going to have our experts in the room respond to your questions.
Thank you so much for your question, caller. So to answer, under the National Emergency Operations Center, we have an emergency support team called Economic Continuity. One of the things they do is look at food security. So they work very closely with local vendors, supermarkets, to make sure there's an increased stock ahead of the season, to take that into consideration. So that's the answer for the first question. For part two, we also work with Cayman Islands Tourism Association as well as consular representatives. That's a part of our National Emergency Operations Center. So prior to an event, they'll put on extra flights, and the priority is to get visitors off. And that's because obviously if you're a resident, you have a residence, you have food, you have your supplies, whereas visitors don't have ready access to that. So that is a priority. In a past event, they actually put on enough flights to get over 8,000 people on. So it definitely is in the plans, and it's something that has been done and will be done.
Okay, excellent. So, folks, we could talk for another hour, but we know that you all have commitments as well. I want to give you all an opportunity for some closing comments. We'll start with Cayman Islands Weather Service, and then you can tell us about your new building. I'm obsessed with that.
Thanks for that, O.C. Just a quick summary. The overall season expected to be below our average season, but it just takes one. Being prepared is the greatest thing that you can do at this point in time. Also be aware of where your source is coming from, your information is coming from. The Cayman Islands National Weather Service has a WhatsApp group that you can join. Hazard Management also has. Our website is up and live, and you can get yourself familiarized with the color coding and the alerts and the wording that goes out and the actions to take. And in relation to the building, it's coming. As with any major construction, there's going to be delays.
Yep.
And we're working through that, but we're hoping to be in there in short order. And nobody's more happier for that than we are. Having worked there 28 years, it's going to be a very, very good place to be, given where we are at the moment, space-wise, that is, because where we are, we have a great relationship with the department that's housing us right now, which is CIAA. So we're very grateful to them for that. So we're looking forward to it, and we should be in there shortly. And this is a purposely built building. So during a hurricane, we will be there to continue monitoring and updating the government on relevant information and impacts that we can expect, and help them to prepare for all of the upcoming events. And in terms of heat, I just want everybody to be aware that this summer is expected to be way above average. So be prepared, be alert, be cognizant of the signs of heat stress, and take precautions. Let's use a lot of common sense. Take breaks when you need to. Being somebody that likes to work outside and don't stop until the work is done, I have to condition myself to know that ever so often I need to take a break and get some water and cool down. So, thanks again for having me on.
Thank you very much, and for the great job that the Cayman Islands National Weather Service does as well. Mr. O'Neill.
Yes, thank you, O.C. Our final comment is that the Cayman Island Red Cross stands prepared to continue providing our service as an auxiliary to the government and to support humanitarian needs throughout the Cayman Islands. Be prepared, can't reiterate that enough. Understand your response procedures, and we are here to help the entire island to recover. We not only have the support of the Cayman Island Red Cross, but we have the support of the British Red Cross, which stands with us and ready to provide humanitarian aid, support, and relief supplies whenever it is needed.
Okay, and again, to your organization, thanks for the great job that you do as well. Ms. Tiffany.
Thank you so much, OC. So, hazard management just reminding persons to be prepared 365 days. It's not just hurricanes. Our list of hazards have grown. Pack smart, include those comfort items. Keep calm, be compassionate, help your neighbors, and stay informed, official sources of information. And part of that is the National Emergency Notification System, encouraging persons to download that app. The app itself is BlackBerry ATOC, and they can find more information on that download on our website, caymanprepared.ky or nens.gov.ky.
And that's the acronym for that is the NENS, right? NENS?
NENS, yes.
Okay.
NENS.gov.ky.
Okay. Have some improvements have been done to that NENS recently as well? Tell us about those.
Sure. There's a platform update in December, so it has a new interface, and that's just phase 2 of the system. So we have radio interrupt as our phase 1. The app is phase 2, and where we're moving towards actively is cell broadcast, where you don't need to download an app. It's much like the Amber Alert, and it comes to your phone. But right now we're at the app, and yes, working on it constantly, meeting with vendors and trying to improve the efficiency of it.
Okay, I want to thank all of you who've again dispensed a lot of valuable information, to our listening and viewing audience as well. And for those family members who may not have been able to hear it, those of you who are listening, you want to ensure that you pass that on to your family members as well. Of course, you can also go back on YouTube and view the discussion right here on For the Record this morning as well. Folks, I'm about 3 minutes over in terms of our headline news. So we're going to go to our headline news. When we return, we will have, an open line for you, open mic, if you want to call in. I'm going to share with you the Cabinet of the Cayman Islands, their post-meeting summary of the Cabinet meeting held on the 20th of May, 2026. Don't change that dial. Please stay tuned For the Record. We'll be back immediately after headline news.
From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
A heads up for drivers. The Water Authority is doing planned infrastructure upgrade work on Miss Francis Street in Georgetown through June 12th. Works will be done 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., and Miss Francis Street will be barricaded. Residents and motorists will be diverted to access Tigris Street and Miles Lane through Martin Drive. In international news, NATO and the European Union hit out at Russia after one of its drones crashed into a Romanian apartment block, injuring 2 people. Romania's foreign ministry says it happened while Russia was carrying out attacks on Ukraine. No deaths have been reported. The NATO chief says, quote, Russia's reckless behavior is a danger to us all, while the EU commissioner president says they will keep, quote, increasing pressure on Moscow. Romania, which borders Ukraine, is part of the NATO military alliance. This is not the first time a member state has been hit by a Ukrainian or Russian drone. And U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance says the U.S. and Iran still need to work out several sticking points before an agreement on the war can be reached. Asked by the BBC if President Donald Trump was close to signing a deal, Vance said it was too early to say, quote, when or if the two sides would finalize an agreement. Earlier on Thursday, U.S. officials told the BBC the two countries had agreed to a framework of a deal known as a Memorandum of Understanding, pending the approval of Trump and Iran's leadership. It would reportedly extend the ceasefire for 60 days and launch talks on the future of Iran's nuclear program. Those are your headlines. I'm Carsley Fuller.
More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Your Cayman Islands Health Services Authority has been the national healthcare provider of the Cayman Islands for many generations. We have elevated our level of care to ensure you, our patients, have the best possible experience. We offer better access to care close to home with the most locations on all 3 islands, delivering a full range of primary, secondary, tertiary, and emergency care. HSA is a JCI accredited organization, and we are committed to caring for you.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Guests. To For the Record. I'm getting really ahead of myself. I was going to say no guests in the studio. So the phone lines are open. Toll-free number 1-800-534-8255. Other numbers 949-8037, 949-6990. Folks, you all should have all of these numbers on speed dial by now too, you know. And of course, we have a WhatsApp number 925-3261. So folks, I'm going to share with you, and I want to say that Cayman Islands government, we have been they have been extremely proactive in some of the things that they do. I can't give them 100% score, but extremely proactive. One of the first Caribbean overseas territories to provide a post-cabinet review or summary of cabinet proceedings, and we're extremely grateful for that. You'll hear me being critical about some aspects of it, you know, and you'll hear that again this morning as well. So, a meeting of the cabinet was convened on Wednesday, the 20th of May, in the Cabinet Conference Room, Government Administration Building. The Honorable Nicholas DaCosta acted as Minister for Finance and Economic Development. Parliamentary Secretary Mrs. Julia Hunter acted as Minister for Education and Training, and Chief Officer Mr. Eric Bush acted as Deputy Governor. All other ministers and members of Cabinet were present. At this meeting, here are some of the things that Cabinet did. A. Confirmed approval granted by circulation on the 15th of May 2026 for an entry permit pursuant to Section 90 of the Customs and Border Control Act 2024 revision. So that's what it did. Now, here's my criticism of that. Folks, if government and a cabinet has approved an entry permit for someone to enter the Cayman Islands, it means that that person's ability to enter the Cayman Islands was restricted. They had no ability to enter the Cayman Islands without cabinet's approval. That means that they were persona non grata. Some may refer to it as an undesirable inhabitants of the Cayman Islands. My point is, if that being the case, isn't it important for the public to know, in the public interest, to know who that person is that Cabinet has allowed to enter our jurisdiction, to enter our country, and in some way or the other to interact with us here in the Cayman Islands? They weren't eligible to be here unless Cabinet approved it. Shouldn't we be able to know who that person is? Yes, those who may take the other side of the argument would say, well, isn't that person, entitled to some semblance or element of privacy as well? And what we would have to weigh then is that person's right to privacy and the public's right to be protected, which one outweighs the other as well. So I would advocate for, when Cabinet is allowing those persons who are normally not able to enter the Cayman Islands, when they're allowing them to do so, please tell us who they are. Let us know who they are, because it could be a situation where that person may pose a threat to someone else in the Cayman Islands, and whether or not that person to whom that threat may have been posed, were they consulted by Cabinet to say, we are considering allowing such and such a person to be in the Cayman Islands. We want to let you know about it, or we would like to get your feedback on it. Not sure. My point again is, I believe that we should know. Okay, so that's what Cabinet did. They confirmed approval granted by circulation on the 15th of May for an entry permit pursuant to Section 90 of the Customs and Border Control Act 2024 revision. Cabinet also approved the issuance of drafting instructions to amend existing or create new regulations under the National Conservation Act 2013. Cabinet also refused a coastal works permit application for the construction of an L-shaped dock. Cabinet approved 3 coastal work permit applications for the construction of a dock and cabana. Cabinet reviewed and noted the National Conservation Council's annual report for the period ending the 31st of December 2025 and approved for it to be tabled in Parliament. Cabinet also approved the revocation. This one is interesting. Cabinet approved the revocation of a deportation order pursuant to Section 120, subsection 3A of the Customs and Border Control Act 2024 revision. So obviously there was a deportation order that was made, and Cabinet subsequently approved and decided to revoke that deportation order. Now that one might be a little bit different, in terms of, because we don't know, again, why it was revoked, but it may have been either for legal reasons or otherwise as well. Cabinet also approved the issuance of the Christmas 2026 commemorative stamp issue. Cabinet approved the expansion of the Grand Cayman Housing Repairs Assistance Program and a transfer from the 2027 budget allocation to the current 2026 fiscal year for the Ministry of Planning, Lands, Agriculture, Housing, and Infrastructure, which will be reported to Parliament pursuant to Section 9, subsection 5 of the Public Management and Finance Act 2026 revision. Cabinet also reviewed and noted the Conditional Release Board's 2023 annual report and approved for it to be tabled in Parliament. Cabinet also approved, pursuant to Section 3 and 4 of the Notaries Public Act 2023 revision, for the appointment of the following persons as notaries public: Kenville Bryan, Dale Crowley, Sophia Lee, Gabriela Itzel Conte Lopez de Roberts. So Gabriela Itzel Conte Lopez de Roberts, Paula McCartney, Jared Moore, and Michael Pearson. Cabinet also confirmed approval granted by circulation on the 20th of May 2026 for the Airports Authority Amendment Act 2026 Commencement Order 2026 and the Airports Authority Designated Airport Security Zone Order 2026. Cabinet also approved the Parliamentary Management Remuneration of Constituency Assistants Regulations 2026. The Cabinet also refused a temporary, so here is one now, they refused a temporary entry permit pursuant to Section 109 subsection H of the Customs and Border Control Act 2024. That means that someone who was not eligible to enter the Cayman Islands applied to Cabinet to be able to enter, and Cabinet refused. So we see in one instance where Cabinet approved for someone to come. In this particular instance, they refuse to allow the person to be able to enter the Cayman Islands. Cabinet also approved pursuant to Section 43 of the Children's Act 2012 revision and Section 4 of the Guardians Ad Litem Panel Regulations 2012, the following appointments to the Guardians Ad Litem Panel: Abraham Joseph, member; Diane Ricketts, member; Melissa Worms, member; Carolina Ferreira, member; and Leonora Winter Young, member. Cabinet also approved 2 exemptions pursuant to Section 53(1) subsection B of the Caymanian Protection Act 2022 revision as well. So someone was exempted. I have to look at Section 53(1)B to see exactly what that said as well. And the Cabinet also noted the spare gun license regulation. So those were all the decisions made by Cabinet at their meeting on Wednesday, the 20th of May, 2026. Again, extremely thankful that at least the government is letting us know of some of the decisions that they make. My argument is we could be provided with more details in some instances as well. With that, we're going to go to a commercial break. We do have a caller. We're going to take that caller as soon as we return, so please stay tuned.
Babe, not tonight. You keep poking me and I need to be rested for meetings tomorrow.
What? I was almost asleep. That's the mattress spring I keep telling you about, not me. We really need to get a new mattress.
Tossing and turning, back hurting, can't sleep? It might be time to turn in your old mattress and go to bed with a new one. Browse the huge mattress showroom at Brand Source Home Gallery and pick the perfect mattress today. With mattresses to suit every budget, Brand Source Home Gallery stocks a wide selection of sizes and styles like pillow top and gel memory foam. So stop tossing and turning and sleep better tonight with a new mattress from Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
The Passport and Corporate Services Office is urging all residents to verify the validity of their travel documents and take steps to protect them ahead of the hurricane season, which starts the 1st of June. Residents are advised to check passport expiry date, verify entry requirements for their destination, apply for or renew passports and visas early, and make copies of passports and key documents and store them in waterproof containers. For more information, call 345-649-7678 or email passportandcorporate@gov.ky.
Radio Cayman News.
The courts heard that the dispute was over turtle meat allocation.
Designed to make it easier for vulnerable Caymanians to get access to financial assistance.
So that we can provide transitional housing for those people who need that help for a short period of time.
It's about continued evolution as a global gateway.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice for today's biggest news.
7 days a week.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. Our caller is still there, Miss Susan. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Yeah, morning, right, yeah, brother.
Hey, morning. How are you?
Oh,
I'm good. I got a little hangover this morning. Party, retired. See, I was in trouble all of my life. From a juvenile, come right up to a gray-headed soldier. But I have watched things evolve in my little island where I grew up, and all too. I seen the best of them all, you know. I used to go to Miami in the 80s and leave my front door open on Main Street. My front door in my house in Cayman right now is open. It got broken a couple of times, but, you know. See, I know that you lived in the great country of America. And when you own businesses in that country, especially business that handling cash all the time, like liquor stores, grocery stores, and stuff like that, the owners have a gun, right? And once you own a house there, you can entitle to get a gun. Now, when you see that we are having robberies in the broad daylight, because, see, if I got bad intentions, I looking at your place and say, well, I can go in there with a gun and get what I want, because I know what's not going on. But if you knew, well, I've been in Texas, and I went in a bar down there, and the bartender, he got his 45 hanging up in the holster there in the partner. He got that there for you to see, right? So, when are we going to come out of this colonial thing that islanders or black people, black business people not supposed to have a gun? But yet, you got people with gun license and the gun club, and they own nothing. Oh, they got a house for the car, whatever, but they just got friends, so they got gun license. No. See, when people broke into my liquor store 3 times, and I knew what it was, small island, because I'm on the belly. Look here, I'm in the different part of life and in the ring of fire. And I told the police who they were. You know what they told me? Well, we got to get a warrant. Good. If I pull a gun on you today, see, and you call the police have to get a warrant, right?
Okay.
But if you tell them that Elvis Jeffrey McKeever is selling marijuana from your house, they don't have to get a warrant. No. You can break in a man's place, and you got the privilege of doing what you got to do because you need a warrant. You can shoot up a guy's place, and you got to get a warrant to search your house, your premises. But you can just walk in under the misuse of drug law. You can tell me with I don't know how to describe the words. These words are I say make up some word for this, because incompetence, ignorant, dumb, stupid, they're too late for this.
Okay, so Mr. Elvis, what I'm trying to understand now, are you advocating for the right to bear arms so that you are able to protect your own property? And just before you answer that, I should point out that there are provisions in place for you to apply to be a licensed gun owner if you have premises, but I'm sure that there are certain protocols and there are certain requirements that have to be satisfied that would make your application to the Commissioner of Police successful.
Yes, sir. Okay, I can understand. But, see, when you live in a country that are born Caymanian, right? Couldn't get a fish pot license, a spare gun license, a turtle license, because he has a criminal record for smoking marijuana. No. You think that is right? But what relevance does marijuana have to do with going fishing and making a living? We got antiquated laws. We are the only country in God's green earth that if a police can't catch you with ganja, he take your urine test and if you refuse, you're paying for the secret. When are these laws going to change?
Yeah.
See, tell me something. You remember when Mr. Winston Conley was elected member, right?
Mm-hmm.
That he said anybody commit robberies on the 7 mile stretch in the tourist area, they should be dealt with differently. Do you remember that?
I remember that being verbalized. I can't specifically attribute it to him, but if you say that he was the one that argued for it, then I'll accept that.
He brought the motion, sir.
Okay.
And the Caymanian, God forgive me for calling my people the dumb Caymanian. They say, well, okay, if he robbed me, he gets 6 months. If he rob a tourist, he get a year. Okay, it sounds kind of rough on the edges. But tell me something, O.C. That was a deterrent to leave everybody alone, especially the tourists.
Mm-hmm.
Because, O.C., my friend, if you see the newspaper come up, the travel advisory, be careful how you travel to Cayman. You may get robbed on the 7 mile strip. You're likely to get robbed, lock up your card. That is not a pretty picture.
Exactly. Yep.
And you can take it from me. Mr. Orrett, in a couple of months, I'll be 68 years old.
Still a youngster.
Best days is behind me, right? But if we don't stop what is going on in this country, look here. You remember on your talk show there, when a caller called in and asked Mr. Bryan and Mr. Taylor what was their sentiment or thoughts on Vibe Cartel coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Did they answer it? No. I answered it. I'm a musician. And now you know something? Go and look to his concert. Who's going to be there? And you can tell where your society is going.
Mm-hmm.
All right? You know, O.C., I heard people talking about, I got to show the relevance of what I'm coming in, right? I hear people talking about the World Cup in America. They're not going to get too much attendance and, it's going to be so expensive. Most of the people are going to go to Mexico or Canada. No, it's not that expensive, you know. I know the Latin people are the biggest lovers of football in the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, illegal aliens will be going to that football match in Mexico. But if they go to football match in America, it's going to be there. So they're not going there.
Quite possibly,
it's not about the cost, you know.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yep.
You can help that can happen.
Mm-hmm.
But we down here, you know what happened to us? We don't forgive our own people, you know.
Mm-hmm.
For the simplest little things. Well,
Mr. Elvis, I'm going to interrupt because I want you're touching on so many subjects. I want to go back to one in relation to the convictions, and you talk about the fact that you can't get a spare guns license, you can't get a license to turtling license or a fish pot license if you have a conviction. Yet we see in our Constitution, right, that could be ineligible to qualify as a member of our parliament for other reasons, but when it comes to conviction, it has a conviction for theft only. So what is your viewpoint in terms of eligibility to be a member of parliament on convictions, not just for dishonesty, but convictions in general? What's your view on that?
Well, first of all, I despise the thief. So that is a serious thing. But I mean, I do see a rapist or somebody that should be able to run for office. I mean, let's face it. But I ran for office, right? And I got a lot of conviction.
Yeah.
Oh no! I not got a record, you know. I got LPs, CDs, and name it, right? But no, but you know what, Mr. Orrett? I have never been arrested, questioned, or nothing when it comes to dishonesty. And one of the reasons that I'm hated by some, despised by others, and people look at me in the face and say, Elvis, well, I really don't like you, you know, but I respect you. Because, you know, I'm like what George don't say. I look in the mirror, I'm the cold, hard truth. I looked in the mirror this morning, and I say, what an ugly brute. Look at you. You look like Friday, one of them old maroon guys there. You know? But Caymanians, or see my friend, we have drifted away so far from the truth, right? That it has now become an offense. You hear what I say, sir? Yeah. Do you know? And that's a harsh reality, you know, sir. Because it's the truth is a serious thing. Do you know? I get you.
Okay, very quickly, because I've gone past my commercial break. Very quickly.
Thank you. Look here. Do you know one thing you will never see in a courthouse or a legislative assembly? The 10 Commandments. You never see them there. Thank you. Have a nice day, Osi.
Thank you very much, Mr. Elvis. Folks, we're going to take a commercial break. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
We got it all together. We got a great deal in store for you. From cookware to stereos, from power tools to plumbing supplies. Yeah, we got the best goods with the best price and a service to make you smile. Herb's Home Center. We got a great deal in store for you.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite Band-Aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. Don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Celebrating 50 years of broadcasting in the Cayman Islands. This is Radio Cayman, 89.9 FM.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We have about 25 minutes left to go in the show. One more commercial break in between that time as well. Want to give a big shout out to the graduating fire service class of 2026 as well. They will be having their graduation exercises this afternoon. So congratulations to the 20 plus persons who will be graduating from the Cayman Islands Fire Service as well. And we wish them, all the best during their service as well. So Mr. Elvis mentioned the issuance of licensed firearms to business owners. I think it is important for people to realize that with the issue of a firearms license goes certain responsibilities as well. There are some states, and of course, in the U.S., this whole issue of the Second Amendment rights and the interpretation, of that, and of course the recent interpretation by the Supreme Court of the United States, while the amendment speaks about the right to form a militia and bear arms, it has been interpreted to include individuals having the right to own weapons as well. In many of those states, you have to go through a training program, especially those jurisdictions, those states where you have either concealed carry or open carry as well. You have to go through a training process. So if you, as a licensed gun owner in the Cayman Islands, to protect your property, you can't just simply go out there and shoot someone because they are breaking and entering your premises. If the person is threatening you with a firearm, and I'm no lawyer, so I'm not giving any advice on this, but I would imagine that if a person is threatening you with a firearm and you have a firearm, then you may have the right to use equal force. But if a person is simply using a crowbar to break the lock on the door, you can't go up to that person and shoot them as well. So there are rights and responsibilities that you have, and they have to be exercised, properly as well. I know many people use the argument and say, right now, we probably have more criminals with guns in the Cayman Islands than you have licensed firearm holders. And persons may ask, why is that? Why is that possible? And shouldn't, we be able to arm ourselves as well so that we can be protected against those persons who intend to harm or to rob you as well. So the whole issue of gun ownership in the Cayman Islands, it has always been restricted, even in the days when we had hunters, farmers in the Cayman Islands who either hunted or needed to have their shotguns or their rifles, whatever, to guard against pests like the agouti and everything. But I believe, from my position, my view on it, that where we are as far as gun ownership, we need not go any further. The way that the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service deals with gun incidents, and the fact that we don't have every police officer with a gun on his hip in the Cayman Islands, to me, that is a plus, because we see so many jurisdictions where police officers are armed, and in many instances you have unjustified killings by police officers as well. So what we have here in the Cayman Islands, it is working. It is very difficult to control the illegal importation of firearms in this country. We know that one of the famous the routes used to transport firearms, they come when the drugs come into this country as well. At one time, we had the threat from another source, and as a result of good intelligence and swift action by the authorities here in the Cayman Islands, we were able to plug that hole. That hole was, and those of you may remember it, in the 1990s, late 80s, 1990s, when there was little or no control over cruise passengers and crew members coming on shore in the Cayman Islands. The cruise lines, cruise ships were the main conduit of the traffic of illegal guns into the Cayman Islands. And with good intelligence and enforcement, that hole was plugged, and we should be extremely grateful for that. Much more difficult when it comes to our porous borders here in the Cayman Islands, but kudos again for those who were involved in dealing with the cruise ship issue as well. And like I said before, I'm quite happy with the way that firearms are regulated in the Cayman Islands. If they weren't, we would see so much more in terms of loss of life or serious injuries as a result of firearms, were we to take the approach that some other jurisdictions have taken in relation to the quote-unquote right to bear arms. Ms. Susan, we're going to take that last commercial break now. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Cineco's parametric insurance after hurricanes is now available for motor policies. Fixed automatic payouts cover incidental vehicle expenses like fuel, cleanup, and minor repairs. No claims, no damage required. $200 for comprehensive policies or $100 for third-party policies. Available exclusively through Cineco and included with all new motor insurance policies and upon renewal for current policies. Visit Cineco.ky today. Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
There you go, sir. Thanks for choosing JN Money Transfer.
Boy, thanks to JN Money Transfer, I can stay right here in Cayman and pay Mama bills back home in Jamaica. Her water, light, phone, and other bills never late. Every month I pay everything in one place.
Make payments to over 30 companies in Jamaica through JN Money Transfer. Fast, affordable, convenient. Call 1-800-744-1163 for details.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite Band-Aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. Don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
Cayman Art Week is back and bigger than ever, with art on show at over 50 venues across all 3 islands from Tuesday the 26th to Sunday the 31st of May. From one-off pop-ups and creative collaborations to open studios and late-night gallery hours, all events are free and there's art on sale for every budget. Join a guided bus tour or visit at your own pace. You'll find everything you need to know at CaymanArtWeek.com.
The Passport and Corporate Services Office is urging all residents to verify the validity of their travel documents and take steps to protect them ahead of the hurricane season, which starts the 1st of June. Residents are advised to check passport expiry date, verify entry requirements for their destination, apply for or renew passports and visas early, and make copies of passports and key documents and store them in waterproof containers. For more information, call 345-649-7678 or email passportandcorporate@gov.ky.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're in the last leg of the show this morning. About 14 minutes left to go in the show. Folks, those of you who like to cycle, those of you who offer support to the Kiwanis Club of Grand Cayman, they will be having their annual, actually it's the 44th annual Kiwani bike ride taking place on Sunday, the 7th of June. The route for the ride will be from the blowholes in East End to the Spots Dock in Savannah or Spots area. Used to be from the blowholes to Smith's Back-A-Dare. That has changed somewhat. So the route now is going to be from the blowholes in East End to the Spots Dock. You can register online. You can do that by going to www.kiwanis.ky/K-Bike, or you can also register in person at the event as well. You please get out there and support a great cause. The start time is 7 a.m. I think you can also drop off your bike at the Spots Dock between 5:30 a.m. and 6 a.m. 7 o'clock in the morning, unless we get some overcast skies, it's going to be sort of start to get warm at that point in time as well. So you want to make sure, well, they will have water stops, rest stops on the way as well. The registration is $5. That you will get refreshments and lots of chances to win prizes and surprises as well. If you want more information, or if you want additional information, you can call 916-1682 as well. That is the Sunday, the 7th of June, starting at the blowholes, East End, ending at the Spots Dock. It's not a race, so for those of you who say, well, you know, I don't want to race, it's not a race, it's a bike ride. Very enjoyable one as well. What you do is you find someone to ride with who is at your cycling level as well, and you ride and you chat and everything. We know, yes, the roads of the Cayman Islands are extremely dangerous. Just a few days ago, we saw another cyclist in Bordentown area being knocked off their bike. As a result, suffering a broken clavicle, collapsed lung as well. Want to extend our wishes to that cyclist and hope that they have a speedy recovery as well. Of course, on this ride, there should be support from the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service. There should be a pace car, as well, and maybe additional vehicles to help to protect those riders along the way. You as drivers as well, remember, if you see a large group, not only if you see a large group, any cyclist that you see on the road, you really should exercise extreme caution, but don't get frustrated when you see large numbers of persons riding on the road. You wait for the opportune time to cross as well. Please exercise patience when you see that happening as well. Okay, one of our listeners has written and said, based on previous callers' comments regarding Caymanian spare gun laws, I would like to ask a simple question. Why is it that a licensed firearm holder in the Cayman Islands can legally import firearms, parts, and ammunition through the proper process, yet a licensed spare gun holder cannot even import basic replacement parts like rubbers, shafts, heads, or sliding rings? They go on to say if someone is approved and paying for a legal spare gun license, why are they still restricted from maintaining their own equipment? From what I understand, this is what, again, the writer, from what I understand, licensed spare gun holders have effectively been unable to legally import replacement parts since the late 1980s, with even stricter restrictions added in 2009. Why has this remained unresolved for so long? If what the writer is saying is correct, then that is a valid and a reasonable question to ask. I don't believe, though, that licensed firearm holders, they do point out, they say that licensed firearm holders can legally import firearms, parts, and ammunition through the proper process. So there is a process for licensed firearm holders to import parts and ammunition. So there is a process. What the person is saying, there is no process for spare gun license, those persons with spare gun license to do the same. I will do some research on that and see if I can find more. Oh, there's more to this as well that they have written. It said, who created these regulations? What is the reasoning behind them? And is there any plan to review or modernize these laws? I think many licensed spare gun holders would appreciate a clear explanation. So I will try to do some research on this and see what I can find more on it, and certainly share that information with you right here on For the Record, or in the event that we do have the minister whose responsibility this falls under in the studio at any point in time, I will remember to pose that question. Okay, and I want to thank that that writer as well for that. I'm going to share 7 minutes to go, one more article with you. You've heard us in the past talk about citizenship by investment. And many Caribbean countries, those independent countries, especially in the Eastern Caribbean, and other jurisdictions as well, have adopted Citizens by Investment program, made lots of money over it as well. In some jurisdictions, people are questioning where did that money go, whether or not it went into the public coffers or was siphoned off by crooked politicians as well. We know that the UK has opined on the whole issue of citizenship by investment as well. So the Turks and Caicos, their Deputy Premier and Minister of Immigration and Border Control, Honorable Jamel Robinson, has firmly ruled out any move towards a citizenship by investment scheme under the Turks and Caicos Islands government's proposed immigration reforms. He stressed that citizenship will remain strictly non-purchasable. That's extremely important. Citizenship will remain non-purchasable and will not be offered as part of the new legislative framework. Historically, the Turks and Caicos Islands has allowed investment-linked residency arrangements rather than a direct citizenship by investment program, similar to what we have here in the Cayman Islands. We have linked our immigration process in terms of residency to investment. So in the Turks and Caicos Islands, historically, they have allowed investment-linked residency arrangements rather than a direct citizenship by investment program, with investors able to qualify for residency or permanent residence through approved investments and later pursue status through existing immigration and nationality processes. Robertson's comments seek to distinguish the proposed reform from those existing pathways by emphasizing that the current bill does not create citizenship in exchange for investment. According to the minister, the legislation is intended to modernize and strengthen the immigration framework by creating clearer legal pathways while increasing enforcement and protecting national interests. Does that sound familiar, folks? Sound like what we're doing? Okay, we can grab the caller. We'll ask him to be brief as possible. We only have about 3 minutes. I'm going to stop reading this because our callers here in the Cayman Islands are more important, but we don't have a whole lot of time. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. Cornell.
Good morning, good morning.
I haven't called for quite some time, but listening to your program this morning, it would be remiss of me if I didn't chime in and give my 2 cents in respect of spare guns.
Okay, great.
The author of that letter is entirely correct in regards to spare guns. It is something that we need to address because you can get a spare gun license, but you can't import it. That doesn't make sense.
So you're limited to what you already have.
Yeah, exactly. I think they need to change because spear fishing is part of the culture of the people of the Cayman Islands. I grew up doing it, and likewise yourself.
I couldn't afford a spare gun. I had to had to make a Hawaiian sling or make the spare gun out of a piece of one by something. Remember that?
Or get a piece of bamboo.
Yes.
Remember those?
Hawaiian sling, we used to call those.
Yeah, well, that's why I had to say in respect of it. My other point that I want to raise this morning is for the government to revisit the installation of a Coast Guard base in the sister islands. It is needed.
Would you say at this point in time that is one of our weak links, one of our most vulnerable areas?
I would say so. I would say so as a former Coast Guard commander. I would say so. And I know there was plans and money is approved for the installation of a coastal base in Cayman Brac. Topics were identified and so forth. But I would encourage the commander to have a look at on the shelves because I'm quite sure that those plans are still on the shelves. He may need to dust them off and revitalize the importance of having a Coast Guard base on the sister island. So, Mr. Scotland, I'm urging you to have a look at it. I'll close by saying that in 1978, I had the privilege to attend the Regional Police Training School in Barbados. And I took along a little Philips radio I bought from Mr. Murphy in town. And every day at 6 o'clock, all the Cayman recruits came to where I resided just to hear Radio Cayman give the news at 6 o'clock on that little Philips radio.
Okay. We have to get that included into our 50th anniversary message. from you?
Well, certainly I'll be more than happy to do something for Radio Cayman. Radio Cayman is the people's station.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much for that. I know who you are, and I will pass on your information, so that we can get that recorded as well, or they may be able to pull something from what you said this morning. I want to thank you very much, folks. I want to thank all of you who chimed in this morning, who listened in, those of you who sent WhatsApp messages, those of you who called in as well. I want to thank our guests, folks, and again, big shout out to the graduating class of the Cayman Islands Fire Service this afternoon as well. Don't forget, join Mr. Charles Glidden Chalo at 12:15 for talk today. Have a great weekend, and as usual, we ask the good Lord to continue to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
For the Record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. Doctors Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. Kirk Market, experience a world of choice. JN Money, from abroad to Yad. And Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
Information, entertainment, inspiration.
Covering Grand Cayman, Little Cayman, Cayman Brac.
Since 1976 till now.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional.